I know we have seen at least 4 or 5 people who have been bleeding, who have been on the ground, who are really in need of attention, and no one is helping these people.
Well, if this incident was triggered by anger over the Rodney King verdicts, there are places to go. A peaceful demonstration right now at Parker Center and various churches in that area having demonstrations and get-togethers so that the anger can be vented. That is the place to go, certainly not what we just saw over the last 25 minutes here on Channel 13. We're going to stand by. We will have Newscopter 13 over the scene, and we will continue to break into programming this evening if events warrant. Thank you very much. I'm Ross Becker.
Kim DeVore, and hopefully this will be the worst of it tonight. We will keep you informed of all the events taking place this evening.
This has been first at one point. He was the youths came up to both sides of the cab. His windows apparently were down. They bombarded him with bricks, probably 5 or 6 against 1 for no reason. And the poor guy was laid out on the pavement, apparently unconscious at one point. And finally, when he was able to regain some clear-headedness, somebody came up and kicked him in the head. And now he, hopefully, I guess that's him in the truck and trying to limp away from that intersection.
Right, we're coming back to the intersection now. Evidently, they're still getting things out of Tom's Liquor Store here on the northeast corner. You can see people running in and out of there, so there must be something left in there worthwhile.
I have no way of knowing how long ago this tape was shot. I'm going to guess and say probably about 5:45 to 6.
All right, she's getting back into the car.
Somebody else just got nailed.
People are raising their hands, telling the crowd, stay back. Please, stay back. Please stay back. The crowd is angry. There's no doubt about it.
If they don't do what they got to do,
I can barely hear right now. I can barely hear you right now at the station. If you're trying to talk to me, it is loud. But again, we're in front of Parker Center. The situation seems to be under control. The officers are moving back, and the crowd is retreating back to the street, to Los Angeles Street. What we are going to do right now is we're going to find out exactly what happened, and we are going to go
outside Parker Center. We're saying we're not leaving until Chief Gates gets out of there. We want him out by the end of tonight. Are they still saying that now?
Absolutely, Bree. In fact, they've taken it a step further. They said to me they are going to take over Parker Center. They say if they have to storm the front door and sit down until they occupy the building, that is investors in a civilized manner. And apparently they have listened to the chief because they have not used their batons.
At this point, they have not used the batons. They're adopting a rather passive stance, Jody.
Yes, they are, Michael. They are really taking more than I have seen Los Angeles police officers take in a while. Usually when you come charging at them with bottles or rocks, they go into action. And I'm just comparing that to what happened in Century City during the gay rights protest. The police moved on the demonstrators there very quickly.
I'm sure
but here,
tonight
they haven't.
They've been told to keep some voice of reason uppermost in their minds when dealing with the citizens of Los Angeles. And we, of course, want to remind you that the church is a place where everybody is gathering to vent some of their anger tonight.
South Central Los Angeles, also been several acts of violence there. Several motorists have been beaten. Police have been staying out of this area because they don't want to bring their presence in and perhaps trigger more violence.
Looks like it's mostly over now. Do you see, Michael, where I don't see any of the police officers' cars there now? I can't see that in our video.
I can't see any at all. I can issue a plea to anybody. Stay out of those neighborhoods. Stay home if you can.
Or go
Don't
to church.
be going out there. The people we saw beaten, and they were beaten quite savagely, had done nothing. All they were doing is driving by. One of these people was beaten so savagely, he was knocked down, knocked completely out. We don't know if that man is dead or alive at this point. I do know the man who hit him and knocked him down did a dance of glee after hitting him, as if he had hit a home run.
And then his pockets were looted.
Then someone came up to him and picked his pockets and ran away with his billfold while the man may have been dying, for all we know.
I wonder, I mean, I certainly understand why police officers wouldn't be out there in full uniform, perhaps to avoid inciting riot. On the other hand, that is their job, to get out there and police the streets. I'm wondering if maybe they don't have more plainclothes officers out there tonight. I certainly think that they should.
I don't know.
We don't see very much people.
What do we have here?
All right, Dave Lopez is at the First AME Church, where Mayor Bradley has just arrived. Dave, are you with us now?
We are back at the encourage you to continue to look at there. There you see a picture of Mayor Bradley, a very somber Mayor Bradley, I'm at. I have...
Again, we're going back to this live picture from Normandy and Florence, and it looks like they have someone else they have stopped there.
Well, they have what looks like a Bronco or a van stopped in the intersection, and
driver's side door and the passenger doors are open.
We don't know if they're talking to these people or if or if they're indeed assaulting these people, as they have the people who went through the intersection earlier. Oh, good grief! They pulled a guy out and threw something at him. Now, this is the kind of thing people ought to be locked up for. This is ridiculous, and it's been going on now for an hour and a half. Look at this. These are people.
It looks like they're fighting with each other at this point.
Well, I'm not clear. Well, maybe he was trying to protect the driver. That would be a step in the right direction, but. This is a senseless violence. And, you know, they'll kill this guy if they keep doing this. And there's nobody down there. Okay. There's no indication of any police presence to stop this kind of a thing. There's no community leader present to try and... Boy, I hope we can ID some of these people so we can get them locked up later on.
I would think at some point the cops would have to be looking at this.
Can we zoom in tight on this so we can ID this guy? This guy ought to be prosecuted later.
Yeah, Keith and Kelly, this is Cliff.
Yeah, can you zoom in on this, Cliff?
Yeah, we're trying the best we can. We also have some other information. The PD helicopter just left here. The pilot's reporting a situation. We'll cover this, and he departed northbound. I think he's going to try to land someplace, but I don't know whether he was hit with something or not. But, boy, I tell you, it's really a nasty situation.
Look at this guy.
This guy is bleeding. They pulled him out of his van. They're beating him. And what a heroic act. You got about 20 people beating on one guy for absolutely no reason who had the poor misfortune just to drive through a public street.
Not to mention all the people standing around and watching at this point. What I was going to say to you, I can't believe the cops are not looking at this and getting ready to do something.
Well, we understand that the police may be about to mount some kind of an advance into this intersection. I mean, it is one thing, of course, to isolate a trouble spot and hope that it will die down and maintain your forces in another part of the city, or wait and assess the situation. It's another situation, of course, where people come in and are being beaten senseless, and possibly they could well be killed, you know, by any of these blows, and there's absolutely no indication that anybody's trying to do anything about it. Now, we see a couple of people escorting this guy off. Hopefully, it looks like they're giving him some aid. Looks like hopefully they're going to help this poor guy out.
Yeah, and there's absolutely no police presence down here at all at this time.
Well, you know, I don't understand it. At this point, we have no idea what the LAPD strategy is, but so far it's been a strategy of absence. We've seen at least 2 people there who have been beaten senseless in an intersection in South Central Los Angeles, just
there's
driving
another car right
through.
here, John, as we look at the intersection. The brown car that people are going around now, the driver's side door is open. Looks like the same thing's about to go down here. Again, they've been looting in this area for about an hour and 15 minutes. There's a liquor store on the corner. They broke in there. We've seen them carrying things in and out of the liquor store for about an hour and 15 minutes. There's a gas station there as well. Cliff, you said you saw flares.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, to the right of the liquor store, if we can look out to the east there a little bit, Dane, something's on fire there. I don't know if it's a mattress or what, but this place is getting totally insane down here. It really is.
Well, you know, there comes a point, of course, where a point of diminishing returns, where it becomes almost impossible to move in. I mean, it'll be dark here in a couple of hours, and unless police can button down this area, or at the very least seal off this intersection a few blocks back so people know not to drive through. But, you know, these people who were going through the intersection presumably are, you know, not listening to the radio or listening to a music station and not to a news channel, and have absolutely no idea that they're in danger. They may not even know the verdict in the King trial if they've been at work all day, and here they are trying to drive down the city street with no idea that they're in danger, and they come in and they're assaulted from all sides.
That's absolutely true, John. They're just, there's no clue. People are just getting, you know, if somebody could just get on the perimeter here and at least keep people from coming to the intersection, would be in a lot better shape. But boy, if you get in the intersection, you take your life in your hands. Little white station wagon just coming up in there now. Yeah. And we've seen many people almost get hit because when the box and rattles start going, the people get on the accelerator, and the next thing you know, some of the pedestrians are just about getting hit.
Again, anybody who's just joining us needs to know that this is an isolated incident. This is the intersection at Florence and Normandy. You know, it looks pretty much like the riot situation in San Francisco about 13 years ago. when they had a conviction up there, and people tuned in and thought they were looking at another country. They saw people burning and overturning cars. This is an isolated incident, and again, you know, we've shown you pictures of here. We're not sure if they're in here to continue with the trouble, to get in on the action, or maybe to slow things down a little bit.
Well, if you just joined us, the liquor store, the upper right-hand corner of the screen has been looted. It was broken into. They've been piling out of there with liquor and with goods of all kinds for over an hour now. To the right bottom of the screen, you can't see it now, there's a gas station there that has also been looted in the last 45 minutes. You can see debris all over the ground there.
Okay, John, can you read me? John?
Yeah, we can hear you, Cliff.
Okay, you can see that a couple of mattresses now that are on fire in the middle of Florence there, just east of Normandy, and they're starting to throw more fuel on the fire boxes, whatever they can find now, paper, so I imagine there's going to be a fire here pretty quick. But again, I'd like to emphasize we've been over this area for about an hour and a half now, and totally around here, this is really the only bad incident that we've seen going down, and I want to emphasize that.
Okay, thanks a whole lot, Cliff. Let's go down to Laurel Erickson right now. She's standing by at Parker Center where we had problems earlier. We said there were about 200 demonstrators there and police in riot gear. Laurel, do we have that shot? There you are.
Helene, here we are. What you're looking at now is we've got about 100 officers out here. It has been I don't want to say a violent night, but a lot of anger down here. Those demonstrators you saw earlier on the 6 o'clock news have grown in numbers. There's a lot of profanity. They rushed the building, tearing up shrubbery, throwing garbage cans at the windows, breaking the windows of Parker Center. They've been blocking traffic. It would seem trying to antagonize the police into some kind of a confrontation. What you're looking at right now has been going on for the past hour or so.
Laurel, what's very interesting to notice as we take pictures of the crowd there is that the demonstration knows no color. It sort of runs across the board. I see...
Colleen, we're at a disadvantage here because our sound system, our IFB system, is not working.
Okay.
All right, a little noisy down there. I'm sure Laurel can't...
Lou, let's go over and talk to some...
Front of the bus.
Well, again, as you said earlier, Michael, we're Monday morning quarterbacking here, and it's difficult for us as broadcasters, as observers, to decide what the police should be doing. But it seems to me that officers, maybe plainclothes officers in the area, could be helpful at this point.
Perhaps the presence of any police officers in that neighborhood would endanger not just their lives, but other people's lives as well. But the point I'm making is, why let traffic into an area unless we're just focusing on one part, and this scene is being repeated over and over many square miles.
As we said before, they've allocated $1 million to overtime in case things like this happen. So they are obviously carrying out a pre-thought-out plan.
In the meantime, don't go near this area, South Central Los Angeles at Florence and Normandy, because there is still no police presence there, and a lot of people trying to get through that intersection have been assaulted with rocks and bottles and sticks. So as long as it's an ongoing situation, you best advise to stay clear.
Can we, Ann, and help me out here, briefly recap what we've seen? We've seen a liquor store and a gas station continue to be looted.
Mm-hmm.
We've
Dave,
seen,
can you go back to the
we've seen rocks and I presume bottles and various things thrown at cars, school buses, RTD buses.
Did you see it, Dave?
Two people dragged from cars in this intersection.
Okay, Dave,
one
go to the right.
woman dragged from her car and ended up on the street, and then we saw the driver of that truck pulled out of his car and beat up. Now there's another car stopped.
That car just moved into that intersection, and as it did, well, you can see what's happening to it right now.
Are there some people inside that car?
The black car, the
Yes.
second lane? Yes. And it's...
Oh, my goodness. Well, it looks like he's,
like you're getting out of there, all
or
right.
she is going to get out of there if they can.
But still, there are things being thrown at the car, as you can see. We can't hear. I guess you can't hear either if guns are being fired or not. Ron?
No, and we wouldn't hear those things. If we were fortunate enough or unfortunate enough, we might see muzzle flashes, but we wouldn't hear anything.
Somebody just tossed a bottle rocket.
The people that are being allowed to drive through this intersection are really in great danger. And I echo what Ann said. I wonder why that the streets around there have not been blocked off as yet. You would think that they would not expose seemingly innocent people driving through this intersection in their cars to this kind of violence.
Well, hopefully the word is getting out on all the radio stations in town, too. If you drive and listen to your car radio, you'll get the word to stay away from this area. The rest of the neighborhood is perfectly serene and calm. As near as we can see, the blocks that surround this intersection are quiet. It would seem to just be the one intersection of Florence and Normandy,
We'll just stay here at 600.
where we've watched for 45 minutes or so, building up on an hour, I would say, where a group, I'm not sure how to estimate the size of this crowd, but somewhere around 100 people.
It seems to get bigger, then it gets smaller, and you know, there's no way of knowing that. We are standing by in a couple of areas. We are standing by at Parker Center, where there's activity, demonstrations. We heard a couple of patrol cars were being surrounded. Linda Breakstone is there preparing for us. We are standing by with Henry Alfaro, who...
So nothing in our eyes, and we seem to be okay, but the vehicle's taken a good lick, and this is something that's gotten out of control, and it's starting to escalate, too. You see gang-type people driving through the streets, standing up in cars, standing up in pickup trucks, waving their fists, throwing bottles and cans.
Excuse me, Matt, excuse me. I'm going to interrupt you for a second. We've just seen a car being set on fire and a large number of people running up the street. Let's go to David Jackson in Sky 9 over that scene. David, can you see what's going on, where they're headed?
I can see that they're headed to an adjacent store here, Carrier right. They have set a car on fire right in front of the liquor store, and now large numbers of people have streamed out into the intersection and to an adjacent store to the liquor store. We're coming around here. You can see there's the car on fire in the parking lot in front of the liquor store. They're pushing that car. There's nobody inside that car. Of course, we're up here in the air and we can't positively report that, but that car had been sitting there, presumably empty, for a period of time before it was lit on fire. As to why those people ran up the street, I don't know. There are still a few people doing exactly that up to another building a little distance away from the liquor store. It could be that the fire in that car drove them out of the liquor store and that they just ran up the street a few feet.
David, can you reiterate what you just said? Now, you said they're running to another building. What does it look like? When you say running to another building, are they going inside? Are they storming the building? Or does it appear that they are just running away from this fire?
It seemed to me, Pat, they were running away from the fire. They're not going inside the neighboring buildings right now. The area that we've been focusing on has several small businesses right there in the vicinity of the liquor store that was looted earlier, and I referred to an auto parts store also, which is a different direction. But I did not see them running inside. That's again on Florence Avenue. It's not Normandy, but Florence right there that you're looking at, and they were not running inside.
Okay, David, as we talk to you, we're going to bring out on a corner of the screen some live pictures from Parker Center. You can see the situation there. Still people milling around, police in riot gear standing in front of Parker Center. Does not appear, Pat, to be confrontational at this point.
No, I guess, and this is the difference in organized protest and what we see going on before our very eyes on the corner of Normandy and Florence. David, I guess still no police presence. You wonder if the fire department would come in to do something about that and if they would be safe to do so without being protected themselves.
I would suggest at some point...
And it looks like actually there's two buses at this intersection at this moment, and still a little bit of north and southbound traffic. However, it looks at this point that all of the eastbound traffic is is actually turning a block west and going north and south and not even approaching this intersection at this time.
Church. There are a lot of community leaders there tonight, including Senator Diane Watson, Mark Ridley Thomas, Mayor Bradley is there, our Dave Lopez will be there all night. It will be a place for us
in the police beating trial
the
for LAPD officers.
Videotape shot by George Holliday, something over a minute, of course, was seen all around the world. And President Bush, I believe, reacted
I think he said he was
immediately
disgusted.
after the beating. I think that's the word he used.
Disgust was the word? Yeah.
So, again, the president appealing for calm, as did Mayor Tom Bradley and everybody.
That's an LAPD helicopter that just arrived on St. Paul.
I'm sorry, Ron,
where is that, Ron?
the chopper, there it is right there. That's an LAPD chopper?
Yes, they just arrived on scene, and all of us are giving him lots of room, letting him get down there and do the things that he has to do. He's down low, looking at it, evaluating the situation at this moment. He just arrived on scene, probably 30 seconds ago.
Perhaps that is in anticipation of or preceding some kind of activity by the LAPD on the ground.
That is true, Paul. We're hoping that that's true. Now, we've got another fire north of us here, and what we can do is I'll just turn right to the north here, and this looks like a pretty big fire. It's one major intersection north of this one. And as I come around, I think you'll be able to pick it up. Let me get down just a little bit lower here, and you'll be able to see this thing burning.
That's a structure fire, is it not, Ron?
I'm sorry, you're blocked by another radio. Say it again, Paul.
That looks like a structure fire to me.
It sure does. It looks like a storefront, actually, Paul. We're going to move in here nice and slow. We've got a couple other helicopters with us, and we'll take a look at it. You can see that this thing is just really involved. Now, we've got units from the fire department that are just arriving in front of it. If Dave will pull back just a little bit, you'll be able to see the fire truck, the ladder truck coming. I see another engine behind it, and I see some paramedic truck, it looks like. Now, also, right behind those, I see about 7 LAPD police cars. If we pan just a little bit to the left, Dave, I'm sorry, you'll see a whole line of police cars that have their red lights on, and it looks like they're setting up, or at least blocking the street at that point. And what they could be doing is just making sure that the firemen can fight that fire safely.
That's exactly what they're doing.
That fire is really going. Even as you got there, we could see it just take off into the roof and launch itself on this building. That is a good burn that's going there.
We have seen a car set on fire. We have seen what looked like a mattress in the street set on fire. This is, I believe, Ron, the first structure fire we have seen.
This is, Paul. This is the biggest fire that we've seen out here since this thing has started, almost 2 hours ago.
Ron, how far away are we from Florence and Normandy at this fire?
Fully engulfed.
Yeah, the firefighters will have their hands full in that area tonight.
This is not a night to be a firefighter or a police officer. Their lives in extreme danger tonight, and our hats off to them, and we respect them, and we appreciate everything they're doing.
And we're working on a map to show you the spots around Los Angeles where you want to keep your family away tonight. If you're going to head out to church, you should know that the First AME Church is packed to the gills. But they're coalescing there to discuss the issues of the day and to share their thoughts and their feelings and their anger, mainly. Earlier today, well, now we're going to stay on the shot for Chopper 2.
I see a sign on the side of that building that says TVs and VCRs. So, and we're told that something else major developing right now. Back to Parker Center, Jody Baskerville is...
Looks like a lot of people have taken things out of buildings, are running down the street. We are over it right now. People are running back and forth. Looting is underway, and quite a few people. Now, I would guess I just have to say 50 people. We are circling the building. You can see the smoke building up. It's a large commercial structure. Now we're clear of the smoke, so you'll have a little better chance. And Martin, as we go by this time, we may see people on the street just south of the burning building. The fire has not come through the building at all, but as we go by, look at the large number of people on the street.
Stan, would you say, are those people just observing? Are they bystanders?
The police have formed a long line now in front of Parker Center, and they are proceeding to push the demonstrators back. We're going to stay live with you as long as we can, but things are getting just a little tense here.
Okay, Ron, give me an estimate here. How many demonstrators are there?
A rough estimate, Hal. Back up just a bit. Just back right up there. That's it. A rough estimate, 350 to 500, Hal.
And how many police officers?
I'm sorry, Hal, I can't hear you. Repeat that, please.
I was saying, how many police officers there?
I cannot give you a very good estimate. They are in a line all the way across the lawn in front of Parker Center. I really can't give you a good estimate.
Okay,
Hal.
Ron, is this an organized demonstration, or?
Well, I think it started out as an organized demonstration, and then it grew and grew, and more people joined in the demonstration, and at one point they rushed Parker Center, and at one point they rushed the building, Hal, and they were driven back by the police, and now it has been for the past hour or so pretty much a standoff here. Some of the people now going out onto Los Angeles Street, some of them jumping up on cars and trucks, carrying their banners up on the trucks and the cars, and a very, very tense situation. But right now, the LAPD pushed forward about 20 or 30 yards, and they have stopped, and they are standing there. It's a standoff again, Hal. The best I can tell you is I don't know what's going to happen next year, but it is a very, very tense situation. Right now, you're looking at a shot of the crowd out in front of Parker Center. The trucks lining Los Angeles Street, some broadcast trucks out there, some cars. Traffic still moving down Los Angeles Street. Not terribly, not at a real good rate of speed, however. At one point, the street was blocked. The street now is open again.
Ron, the reason I raised the question about...
Officers armed with, obviously armed, but also carrying smoke grenades and tear gas grenades, and they're going to be driving through these areas using their tear gas on RTD buses to try to disperse these people down below.
Bob, best of your knowledge, how many people are involved in this violence?
Hang on one second. How many what, Ross?
How many people are involved in this violence? Is it 50 people? Is it 100 people?
It's several hundred people. An estimate from LAPD came out a short time ago of 850. My vantage point, I've seen several hundred people at this intersection from time to time going through the intersection, but moving off, swarms of people moving off to other locations. Over at 60th in Normandy, we saw about 70 people. Then there's a crowd of about 100 or so around another location on Vermont. Then we're hearing one of the LAPD frequencies where they're talking about 850 people that are creating a commotion over at the Crenshaw Square area. Shots have been fired at that location. Also, Ross, from our aerial vantage point, we have seen people fire shotguns up at us. Fortunately, we've been out of the range of those shotgun pellets as we fly News Chopper 13 over the area.
Bob, any reasonable person, I suppose, tonight, of all nights, would have to assume the catalyst for all of this is the anger and frustration felt by some people with the not guilty verdicts in the Rodney King videotaped beating trial. And all this time we've been hearing about restraint. People wanted restraint after these verdicts were announced. That is not happening, certainly, in the area that you're flying over right now.
Well, you're right. People have called for restraint. The odd irony here is that literally a quarter-mile away, there's a soccer field. Now, I'm going to position Newscopter 13 to another fire, but as I'm going to that location, I want to tell you that there are people on soccer fields playing soccer. Baseball games are underway. And literally blocks away, buildings are burning, furniture stores, markets, liquor stores. All these areas that were rebuilt after the Watts riots are now being burned back down.
See, that's a very important point that just...
Interesting side note, LAPD air units did go down. It made an emergency landing in an area right around Slauson and Western. It had some sort of a technical problem, but it seemed like there was... a red light or caution light or something along that nature.
Rod, let me jump in very quickly because I know those beeps are the sound of your cellular phone dying, but the area that we're talking about where the fires, Florence and Normandy, how big a geographical area are we talking where the trouble is?
Chris, if you picture Slauson on Normandy, Slauson in Normandy, and in Normandy south to Florence, that's where we saw the 3 stores or mini markets that had been looted and burned. The graphic that you're showing there, that strip, Normandy and Florence, if you go north on Normandy, that's where we saw at least 3 other stores that had been looted and set on fire.
All right, Fox 11's Rod Burnson in that area. Thank you, Rod. Take care and be careful.
Another thing happened to another man who was driving a red truck.
And it was a horrifying scene, but we must warn you once again, it occurred in a very, very small, relatively small area of South Central.
It's a live picture you're looking at now. The fire is burning in South Central Los Angeles. We're going to Tony Ginyard in South Central Los Angeles at a much calmer spot, the first AME church.
Below us, look at all of the clothes, the debris. There people are carrying out items. They're just running in and taking everything with them and running at full speed across.
Again, the organized firebombing of these structures has been continuing as we've been flying here. But no police in evidence, no fire department in evidence.
It's part party, and it's part anger, and it's part protest. The police seem to be just trying to keep a handle on this, and everybody down here is voicing a lot of anger. I think you heard them say earlier that going to church doesn't work, that they want to protest, that this is 1992.
Laurel, I'm not sure what those signs mean, but are those gang members down there we're looking at? Can you hear me?
Well, we can't.
Is getting squeezed, if you will. A lot of would-be leaders out here tonight. One of them you just saw up on the stop sign, I think. Now,
Laurel, is this crowd getting bigger? Can you tell?
I'm sorry, Colleen.
I said, does this crowd appear to be getting bigger?
Let me put it this way. It feels bigger, but it...
Head like that, and that was completely senseless. And it's the irony you see in a situation like this when you have a riot situation.
Windows in his car. The reporter's name, Bob Brill. Evidently, he did manage to get away, went to a hospital where he was treated for a broken thumb and bruises. So the violence does continue, obviously, in that area.
Well, as you saw, mentioned earlier, Hal, those scenes of the motorists being...
That I'm looking at, Michael.
Okay, well, our shot isn't telling us that. We have a different shot, Jody.
Okay.
Than what you're describing.
Okay.
And that's okay. You've got a
now,
much wider scene than we do.
Right. All right, now they're stopping. They're, like, holding the line again. There's a group of officers standing shoulder to shoulder. They've just got their something thrown at their face mask. I don't know if you can see that. I'm not sure because I don't have a monitor with me. Now they're surging. The crowd is surging toward the officers once again.
Right.
Those officers are in considerable danger there. I mean, certainly they have chest vests on, bulletproof vests on. They have helmets. They have visors in front of their face, but their arms, their shoulders are exposed. Their legs and their feet are exposed.
Yes, can you tell us what's being thrown at them? We sometimes see objects being lobbed at them that look as big as baseballs.
looks like baseballs or tennis balls, and some of it is wadded up paper from the signs that the demonstrators were carrying. In fact, some of them are just slinging those signs right at. There you go. There's another one. That didn't look like a sign. It looked like an inner tube.
Joni,
but,
have you seen any officer use his baton as yet?
Just once. It was a quick hit, but that officer, I must say, was charged. And it was just a quick hit. Now he's got the megaphone out.
Did the crowd get that officer down, or did he back off?
No, he had a lot of officers.
We are live in Parker Center. You are looking once again. This used to be a guard shack.
Sets and stereos and other types of items, and then they've loaded their bounty into their automobiles, where they have taken off back, I guess presumably back to their homes. I've seen women with children rushing inside these stores. It's the ABC Market and the Sunny Swamp Meat here at the corner of Vernon and Vermont, South Central Los Angeles, just about a quarter mile south of the Coliseum.
What is going on here? Are we hot?
What's going on?
What is the problem, officer?
Go live, go live, go live.
Excuse me, what is the problem here?
Go live.
What is the problem, officer?
Lights off, lights off.
Excuse me, sir, what is the problem? We are trying to do the news. I want to know what the problem is. We are doing our job. Hello. We are...
What's going on here, officer?
I said, what is the problem here? They are not giving me an answer. All right, get to the camera on them. I don't know if you can hear me, but they just ripped the microphone out of my hand and tried to take the camera away from one of my photographers. up until this point, they've been very cool, but they suddenly lost it. So, and they're refusing to answer our questions when I ask them what they're doing. There's Laura Whitehead, one of our photographers. Let's see if we can get over closer.
Can we? Jody?
Pardon me?
Jody, can you hear me there?
Yes.
I understand the frustration you must feel at this particular time. It seemed to me the officers may have been saying, turn off the lights. Were they saying, turn off the lights?
No, they were telling us to get back, and we started to move back, and then he grabbed onto the microphone cord and just, you know, yanked it out of my hand, and then he went after Brian. So they didn't tell us to turn off the lights. They've had lights on all night long
I know
here.
it's very hard, Jody, particularly when you're in the field. It's very hard to back off and say, okay, I'll just relax a little bit on my job. You are a wonderful reporter, and we're glad that you're there covering this. Watch out for yourself and try not to incite anything. Let's stay calm and just try not to add to the situation. You're doing a great job, even without your camera, so...
Yeah, I know. It's just, it was so sudden that I didn't...
It's a very tough situation tonight.
Jody,
the cops have an even tougher job than you tonight,
Jody,
so let's try to look out for that.
One of the reasons that they might have been moving, we're just fed this information, which you may not be aware of, that part of...
The cops have moved across the street. They've got one person down by a truck. We can see that over there. I know that's too far away for you to see. The cops are taking cover behind vehicles because you heard gunshots as they came to us live. Let's see. I see cops farther up the street toward Osborne, and they're moving down the street right now.
Joe, you know what direction those shots were coming from?
No. I wish I did. No, I don't. I just heard 4 shots as the crowd was dispersing. And I don't know who fired or where they were coming from. But
Joe, let me ask you.
Yeah,
we've seen the police take a great deal of abuse at Parker Center earlier this evening, show a lot of restraint. Do you know what orders they are under tonight? How much restraint are they supposed to take?
Absolutely not. They are taking a lot of abuse. They are very restrained tonight.
You can see this tape. You have a monitor there. This is the tape.
No, I don't, Michael. No.
Okay, we are looking right now at that crowd as they moved into the buildings downtown. That's the Federal Building. Jody, they actually broke into the Federal Building?
No, they have not broke into the Federal Building.
Here's the Hall of Justice we're looking at right now.
Right. They just started a fire in front of it, but now that, like Bree said, is the Hall of Justice. It's the building right behind it. I don't know if that's a parking structure or not. I can't see that far, but that's where the fire seems to be picking up.
We see officers in this videotape. An officer just came out of that building, his gun drawn, his pistol drawn.
Yeah.
And
this videotape was shot less than 10 minutes ago, right?
Yeah.
And there you see people taunting. I can't tell. This is the Federal Building. We assume those are federal officers.
The Hall of Justice. And we are seeing now that they're throwing something at the officers. Can't tell exactly what. Jody, what was it they were throwing? Can you hear us?
I'm sorry, Bree, could you repeat that?
Yes, in the videotape we see some of the people in the crowd throwing things at the officers.
And swinging at them as well. There was a young woman there who took a swing at an officer with some object in her hand.
And someone's trying to calm them down right now. See, now they got the arms up. They're going to make... Did they make any arrests?
Yes, they made several arrests. In fact, they marched them past. This is the latest stuff that was shot by the CBS crew that had been roving down there, and they said that they have hit every single building in the downtown area.
Hit every building with...
bottles. Some of them have tried to start fires, but at least shattering any...
Big star in Los Angeles, Magic Johnson, who has been asked for his opinion on what's happening tonight, and this is what...
City Hall, maybe right in front of it. We are standing in front of the Federal Building. Now, the demonstrators have been making a tour, if you will, through downtown Los Angeles. A lot of them left the Parker Center area. There was some disturbances over in City Hall South. What we've been following tonight are the demonstrators who have been going by the Federal Building. Now, that's just the next block over from Parker.
Rocks and other objects at the doors. Police clad in riot gear moved in outside. It was a tense standoff. The protest had started out peaceful, people of all color marching outside, occasionally stopping traffic. Although at that point there was no violence, demonstrators threatened the use of force if necessary.
We don't have police anymore. We have to police our own neighborhoods, our own communities. LAPD can do anything they want. We see that now.
That we are not satisfied with this verdict, and I'm hoping that everybody who feels the same way that I feel come out and show their support
And if the police want to get violent with us, we'll get violent with them, because I'm ready to die.
At one point, an argument between one of the protesters and a man who said justice was served came dangerously close to blows. Earlier in the day, as LAPD officers watched the
windows, right across the street from City Hall is the Los Angeles Times.
There were police officers inside of these buildings trying to assess whether these looters were inside stealing things. It didn't look as though that was the case, but everywhere we looked, huge plate glass windows were shattered. Cars were tossed over in the middle of streets. Tow trucks were getting to the location as fast as they could to clear out a hazardous situation. We even followed a group of looters at one point. And basically what these men and women do, they grab anything they can along the streets that are heavy, and they toss it through plate glass windows. They turn over newsstands. They turn over huge...
Attacked?
Pardon me? I say, were you attacked or was your vehicle hit?
Yes, we were attacked. We got stopped at a stoplight, and we were like the third car back, and a group of young black gentlemen started throwing rocks at us and all different types of objects, and we escaped by going through an alley right next to a gas station and coming out the other end.
Well, Ernie, I'm glad everything came out okay for you and you're here with us now, but obviously this was not a very sensible thing that you did, and we would urge other people not to try to do the same.
Great pictures, nice job, lots of guts, and but be more careful in the future.
I sure will.
Okay.
That was taken by a person on the scene and then sent to us. The strategy of the Los Angeles police officers tonight was to form a perimeter around the building, and then from the building to move out first to the street and then down the street to move the demonstrators out of the area. I believe we have Ron Olson now live from the scene. Ron?
Yes, Hal, the situation, these are LAPD police cars on Main Street over in front of City Hall, both of them on fire. A number of police were dispatched over to the area. We've been talking all night about groups of police running over through City Hall East, over to Main Street. As I say, according to Mr. Sands, 2 police cars. He got video of 2 police cars burning. And in just a minute here, I think we're going to see, this is Main Street again, in front of Los Angeles City Hall.
Ron, did Mr. Sands tell you approximately what time it was when he took this video?
Well, he's standing right here. Terry, come here. When did you shoot these pictures?
Approximately 35 minutes ago.
35 minutes ago. And what we're going to see now, I think, is an arrest being made, correct?
Yes. Coming up is the police holding the line right on Main Street, and they waited till they identified the man throwing the rocks and the bottles at the officers. They ran across the street and apprehended him and took him into custody.
Okay, and we
throwing. I think there were some shots fired, but I don't know if anyone was hit. Now, I do know a couple of photographers out here were hit by rocks and bottles, including Tom McCosey, my cameraman. He was hit by a couple of bricks. And it's just a pretty frightening situation out here, because the violence erupts and then it sort of stops. As you can see, there are people down here sitting on the ground.
Are those injured people, Marta?
I don't believe they're injured. I think that they are in custody.
Great fuel for an arsonist.
Yeah, it's an almost an eerie kind of sight. You remember the film Blade Runner?
Yes.
The night sights in Los Angeles. Well, tonight it feels very much like that.
It may turn out to be another episode, a different kind of a video used as evidence before this is all over in his case.
Yes, I think so.
Making no efforts to conceal their identity.
No, not
They
at all.
don't seem too concerned about concealing their identity, Jess. They're right out there, and there's concrete pots holding trees lining the streets. I mean, people, when they left the Parker Center or if they joined in progress, became more and more violent. Some of the fellas we talked to here over by the federal courthouse said that they had just decided to come down and see what was going on, and that made
emergency equipment. Yes, that's right. Emergency equipment, fire personnel, LAPD units. They're dispatching LAPD units along with all fire trucks that respond to major emergency blazes for protection. And they're forming, basically that's what the LAPD protection is really for at this point. They're going in there to protect the firefighters, to stop the fires. But with respect to trying to get LAPD service or anything else, folks, you're on your own down there. If you call the police, I wouldn't expect to see them coming to help. Their primary purpose at this point is pretty much to go out there and help firefighters do their job. Reporting live, Bob Turk, KNX Chopper 10-7.
All right, Bob. Bob is going to stand by, of course, with us all night here.
Oh, here it is. He's pulled out of the car with a crowd of, what is that, at least 50 people or so standing around watching?
Well, there's a couple of dozen directly on the scene.
Look at the people standing on the sidewalk there. It's just amazing. All the windows broken out of his car, as you can see. He's pulled out.
But there were people who came to his aid. Now, you know, there were good Samaritans here. Look at that. Now, these guys are apparently trying to pull him to safety, and then guys are still beating on him, and then they get into a fight with the other guys. We don't know who's on which side here. But the poor guy is unconscious.
Eventually, you see him being walked away.
I believe the guys with him now finally take him away.
The two guys in the white shirts there eventually walk him out of there and help him out. There they are.
This is an unbelievably disturbing scene. This is the kind of thing you never think you'll see in the street of Los Angeles. And hopefully it'll be a long time before we see it again.
If we saw in a movie, David Sheehan would say it's absolutely too violent to go see.
That's exactly right.
Unbelievable to see this.
We have a report now of a city fire truck missing somewhere around the 900 block of Vernon. We don't know if that's we don't know if they just lost communication with dispatchers or what the situation is, but we do have a report of that city fire truck that is reported missing.
We also had indications early in the evening that as this violence grew worse, Mayor Tom Bradley was to go on television to make one last appeal to the crowds to go home, to remain calm. He was to have done that at 10 o'clock. It is almost 11, and as yet the mayor has not made that appeal. One would assume that he perhaps has decided to call it off.
You can see the peacemakers in this particular video who came in, stopped the crowd from beating this gentleman.
How many? This is inside that convenience store. You can see the entire store has been ransacked. Almost everything is gone from the inside that could have been carried out of there. At this point, we've heard that they are also looking for, I mean, these officers are going out and trying to find people reported in areas where looting is going on at this time. And as I said before, we do not have any report yet on how many people have been arrested. They are not being brought back to this area, probably taken to the either...
And looters being arrested. Well, looting is going on right now in the Boys Market at this major shopping center. We talked to the one on La Brea earlier. Well, this is the equivalent shopping center over here on Crenshaw. It's a large shopping mall. And as we go by, you can see the roof has gone through, the steel beams are melting and cracking, the walls are falling in, and this is two of three buildings on the east side of the mall are on fire. We don't see any smoke coming out of the middle, but that's an intense fire in both of the buildings. Then as we circle around, you can see the building at the corner. Now, right here, you can see 4 major fires within the one shopping center. The Boys Market, another thrifty drugstore that's on fire right now, and looters in the parking lot going into the Boys Market, picking up various items and then running out. Cars driving in the parking area, going through some pretty intense smoke right now.
Stan, of those fires
areas that we're looking at now that are supplying services to the people who are most angry by the decision today in that courtroom in Simi Valley.
There's no question about that, Jerry. That's exactly right. This is something that's very sad to see for the people who live in this area, because so many companies are being destroyed, and it's going to be such a difficult thing for the people who live in these areas. And this servicing the Baldwin Hills right here, again, new buildings. It's impossible for the fire department to keep up on this, but new shopping centers burning to the ground, the looting that's taking place. It's just, you know, you become a little bit repetitious talking about it. You can't help it, but nevertheless, in the city of Los Angeles, perhaps since 1965, we haven't seen anything like it, and it's astonishing to see what's happened and how much of a part of the city is being hit by this I know, Jerry, you remember in 1966 when it was focused in Watts. This is not focused anywhere. We're above the Baldwin Hills. We've been all the way down in very, very far western, south central. We've been up near Hollywood, and then it really is a wide portion of the city.
One thing, David, I don't know if you were listening a while back when we had Captain Rudy from the LA City Fire Department on with us, but he had made one request which you can oblige him with. He said they're having trouble getting calls in from people in the neighborhoods, 911 calls in terms of fires that have just broken out. So therefore they can't respond quite as quickly as they might like. So he asked if anybody up in a helicopter, that would be you, sees any new fire to please let us know the coordinates and we can help LA City Fire get there as quickly as possible. So you might note that.
I'll sure do it if I can keep track of them on the map. It's a job trying to follow all these as they break out, but we'll sure do our best to try and get people in the right place, because as you know, we've seen about 50% of these fires being unfought.
Right. But
this particular one at La Brea and Jefferson has a large number of fire department on the scene, so they're fighting a losing battle, but at least they're here.
Just to remind you that during the Watts riots, a lot of the major complexes that we're seeing burned tonight didn't exist in the area. They've been built since then. And the targets that were hit then were small, private homes, little stores, not these big supermarkets and these